spoil her with some soul trends. Good girl, platinum, oh, she on my team. When I hang, you hear the echoes when bass scream. Living that pain life from the past, it's alright. You feeling depressed and go outside. The weed and the season make these hard times. Worth every time you spend on no life. Coulda take a staycation to Santa Cruz. To a car, I got drank. Bring the shoe, bring the speaker for the slap. Yeah, set the mood. Tell them girls.
Good morning, or I'm sorry, good afternoon. Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. If you are new, if you are an existing watcher, welcome back. We are here this Saturday to go over Love After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 2, titled Street Lies and P.I.s. So this episode was definitely full. It was also a long episode. I forgot that Love After Lockup does these like 90-minute episodes, which is cool because in hindsight, when you look at like commercials and stuff for those watching on cable or YouTube TV or Hulu Live, like I am, then you know that commercials take up most of the time that we get from these shows. So anywho, what we are going to do as always is go over the couples and all that happened with them in the entirety of the episode, couple by couple. And then we will let you know at the end what other lives and whatnot we have going on. If you are new here and you like what you see or think you like the channel, anything like that, I encourage you to like the video. I and B3ST heavily appreciates you for that. But other than that, we're going to get right on into this recap so I don't take up too much of your Saturday. So the first couple we're going to go over is Renika and Asante, the queen of green onion wigs. She still has this wig on, and you can tell the wig is rebelling, y'all. Now, at first, it was regular. It was, well, no, the wig's never been regular. The thing came with sideburns, and the color choice is just ghetto. But at least the wig line was down, and the sideburns kept it together. Now, you can see the wig just like lifting. I don't know if she's put too much wig glue or something under there, but it just lifts. It's getting worse. And then her kitchen and all its little bean sprouts in the back is showing. So I don't know what this girl is doing, but if you've got a full head of hair, Renika, and you have that pretty face, then please use your pretty hair. Some people are bald-headed and have no choice but to wear wigs. You are not bald-headed, Renika. Do better. So she wakes up, and in the last episode, we see Asante sneaking out, and then she wakes up the next day at around noon. You know, she says they had sex for hours last night, and she knocked out. I get it. When my dude puts it down, I'm done. Like, that's it. I'm going to sleep. But she wakes up the next day, talking about making breakfast. Girl, it's 12:30. Breakfast is over. Just DoorDash him something to eat. Anywho, she wants to make him breakfast, but you know, all she has is a text message from Asante stating that he has a new phone, and that's weird to her because she went to sleep. They were together. So she's like, how'd he get this phone? Because if we remember from the previous episode, Renika she was trying to have it to where she goes over to the auntie who's the person to get the phone. But he was like, hell no, I can't have them two collaborate again. So, you know, he sneaks out. So basically, she gets on his voicemail. And the first, I know they edit, but this girl does. Renika's the example of a pretty girl, in my opinion, who let the hood get to her a little bit too much. She doesn't know how to talk to a man. And in my opinion, it doesn't look like she knows how to be a partner. She doesn't deserve what the fuck bullshit Asante is throwing at her. But at the same time, a woman, okay, a woman would have been able to see from a mile away that Asante was not going to do right by even himself when he got out, considering the fact that he had a whole ass cell phone and iPhone in prison. Like, of course. So I just feel like either Renika playing dumb because she's embarrassed by her actions, or she really is dumb. If there's no other, that's usually how it goes with these love and hip hop couples, though. It's very rare that we get one that's like smart or hopeful. These people are just questionable, which you have to expect if you're going to look on somebody's prison just to have, you know, people interested in you. Oh my God, y'all, my cat is going crazy. Jojo, apologies. My cat is ripping apart the blinds so that he can see outside. Mr. Best will be coming to handle that. Anywho, back to Renika. So she gets on the voicemail because Asante's not there. And she's calling him all types of bruhs and bitches. Like, where you at, bitch? Why you not here, bitch? Why your bitch ass not here? And I'm just like, that's not how you talk to your... Sorry, y'all. That's not how you talk to your partner, nor is that how you talk to your friend. That's not how you talk to your man. That's just not how you should... That's just not how you should talk to people, in my most personal opinion. But Renika obviously is not a good... I don't know. She just doesn't know how to talk to people. So I'm like, if he's gone, he's not going to want to come back if he's got a voicemail of you hollering and calling him all sorts of names. Like, yeah, he did you wrong, but she knew. The reason I'm less empathetic towards Renika, she knew in Love During Lockup that the auntie was not really the auntie. She's been new. She still chose to bring him home because she said she wanted some dick. Now she's trying to complain and all of this about a situation she put herself into and about shit that she knew was coming. So I'm like, girl, bye when it comes to that. Like, you knew it was coming. Take accountability. You fucked up. You fucked up. Go apologize to your family and to all involved, because it just does not make sense. So basically, we see 5:30 p.m. comes around. He's still not answering the phone or back home with Renika. And she had been calling him since 12 noon from what we see on the show. And I'm pretty sure she's probably calling him longer because editors edit things in a certain type of way. So yeah, it's a hot mess. So she calls her friend Ray, who I love and who wears a much better wig. Ray, I'm calling you out. If Renika's your best friend, why do you allow her to walk around the world and the earth, traumatizing the rest of us innocent people with that damn wig? Why? We need to really get back into natural hair as Black people. Our hair gonna be nappy sometimes. Y'all see I got some new growth and whatnot over here. Your hair is gonna be nappy from time to time. Tame it, throw some shea butter, some sulfurate, Africa's Best. I don't know. Throw something in it, work it through and work it out. But it's a lot better than walking around looking like a green onion. And I think as friends, we should tell each other if we look crazy. It's just how I feel. But her friend tells her everything that happens with Asante is a blessing in disguise. And I agree with that friend, because Renika was not listening to reason, her gut, common sense. She is dodging the truth like Neo in the Matrix. And that's just the honest to God truth. She's had plenty of warning from family, from herself, from intuition to know that Asante was going to be this type of person. It's just what it is. So basically, the friend says what I would have said, and Ray is me, and I am Ray, and we are one. Because I'm the same way to my friend. When you'll do something or you catch him with something, it's like, listen, you don't need to be with him, and I encourage you to move on. But if you're not going to move on and want your lick back, like, I will drive. We can pull up on that nigga. We can jump him. They have to learn somehow. That's just how I feel. So I was with it for Ray saying that. But basically, later down the episode, she does end up getting text from the auntie, who we know is Asante's actual girlfriend. And basically, Renika finds out that they have been together. He's been with this woman for 2 years. This comes from the woman herself. And she's thinking about revoking his bond because she paid the bulk of his bond. So if she revokes her part of the money, then he might have to go back to jail. And she wants to see about a P.I. who her friend suggests in order to, catch him in some shit. So they meet with the P.I. and discover that the girlfriend is a 44-year-old woman. So she's a little older than Renika. I believe Renika's 34. And she's talking about 44 as if it's old. 44, yes, you are definitely a mature adult, but I don't think that's old. Like, there's 44-year-olds that I know who are in better shape and moving around more than me. So I don't know. I don't think that we should be age shaming the girl. And that's the thing I'm like, that's making me kind of like not fuck with Renika. Like, why are you getting at this lady's age and talking about her when your man cheats? Your problems with your man, not that bitch. He played both of y'all. He lied. Now, if the bitch gets out of hand, I've been cheated on and the girl got out of hand, I had to pull up to a hospital. It had to happen. I don't know why she was there, but she got her ass whooped. And that's what has to happen. But if the female's not disrespecting you, your problem's with your dude. Be mad at him. But you can't be mad at him because you can't reach him. He's not answering the phone. So we will basically get to see in the next episode what happens with Renika. It ends, the last thing we see with her in this episode is they call the phone number and a male answers, which I'm assuming is Asante. The girl got his phone and all of that, so I'm assuming that it is Asante. So that's all we got for Renika and Asante. I'm hoping and praying she doesn't do this whole season in this wig, and I'm really hoping that we know that she's single. So it sucks that, she probably has to rewatch like pain. I can't imagine like rewatching like a breakup and a betrayal and whatever else Asante's done to her. So regardless of her wig, she definitely does not deserve the crap that he's doing. Because even though it's her choice to move to Georgia to be with Asante, he should appreciate that and at least try to act accordingly, at least come home and do your dirt, at other times, or at the very least, like convince her not to move to you. Because obviously she'll do what her man says to some extent. But then again, I just don't know with Tarika. But she definitely doesn't deserve all of this. It's some bullshit. So it's going to be interesting. We are going to keep getting that little disclaimer that WeTV is putting up. Asante is now deceased. So condolences to everybody who loved him, who was impacted by him, all of those things. Death is unfortunate. We want people to live to be able to change. So, at the very least, there were people who he did make a good impact on, and I'm sure he will be heavily missed. So condolences to everybody, Renika included. We're going to move on to the next couple, which is Andy and Brittany. They're also a couple that was on Love During Lockup. I'm going to remind you guys just for the first couple episodes, because we're only on episode 2. Love During Lockup actually just went off TV. And apologies if you see me looking down. It's my cell phone. I know the blur makes it hard to see, but it's my cell phone. It has notes so that I don't fuck up or say something that's not true and get sued by WeTV or one of these people. I don't have time. So apologies. I have to look to read, and I do need glasses, but don't have them right now. So anywho, Andy and Brittany. Andy is a former cop. Brittany is an inmate. She had a drug problem. She served 2 years. We find out a lot this episode. So Andy's daughter, Gracie, is who she's most concerned about. It's her oldest daughter. They do, the visit and all that. They seem happy to have Brittany home. They go to the hotel. They immediately jump in the pool together. And they kind of just left Barry and Gracie, who are Andy and Brittany's kids. They kind of just left them while they went and jumped in the pool and had this like whole moment. So I thought that was weird. Like, put the kids to sleep first, jump in the pool together, then do what you got to do. But like, don't just have your kids waiting while you walk into a hotel lobby soaked. I just thought that was weird. Anyhow, so we fast forward through the episode, and Gracie's been uncomfortable. It's obvious. She hasn't seen her mom. She had a hard childhood because of her mom's choices and issues with drug addiction. And now she's seeing her mom for the first time. She's on camera on national TV on a show that's extremely popular, and next to this man who used to be a cop that she does not know, along with his son. So it just seems like something that's difficult for Barry and Gracie, but obviously Gracie's struggling a little bit more considering her mom is the inmate. Basically, Andy is in the room and Gracie and Brittany start to kind of argue. They're not on camera. They're in the bathroom. But I respected Andy. He seems like he's going to be totally patient to the process of Brittany's kids, like warming up to him and whatnot. I actually think of all the couples, they seem like the most normal and the one that has the potential to function. Just because the fact that she cares for her kids so much, I think that's a good sign. And he's obviously not going to be for the drugs because he's gone through that before. So he's not going to, I don't think he'll push her towards, that. Anywho, so he wants them to stop recording. And then we get to see them later arguing some more. But they talk this time, Gracie and Brittany. And basically Brittany had told Gracie, who is her daughter, that she felt like she was being selfish by having an attitude and saying she wants to spend time with her. Gracie's only 18. She's a teenager. And it definitely shows that her mom might have missed a couple of years because that's how teenagers are. They struggle with deductive reasoning. They do not explain themselves well. So sometimes they'll just get frustrated. It's what happens. Brittany did not lose her cool. She spoke to her daughter And everything gets better. That's when Brittany explains to us the background, and it makes sense why Gracie is this way now. So Brittany got into drugs, and when she got into drugs, she started having issues, obviously. So the father of her children took her to court and took custody of her kids. Uh, no, they. So the father of the kids took them to court to get custody of them. But prior to that, Brittany lost her children and they ended up in the foster care system. When that happened, Gracie was the one to kind of keep her siblings together because she is the oldest, which I can relate to. I'm the oldest of my siblings, and our parents were not good parents at all. I've had therapy though, so I'm all right. But Gracie's kids are still trying to work through that. Some of them are younger. It's just a struggle. So they go to see the rest of her kids. Apologies, my neighbor. I'm so tired of this fucking neighbor and his loud ass truck. It's so disturbing. He works on it for hours. It takes him forever just to get it to start. He does this every day. It's awful. So if you guys struggle to hear me, I apologize. Basically, Brittany and Andy end up driving for a couple of hours, and they go to see Brittany's other children, and one of the children's having a birthday party. So when they get there, suddenly Brittany tells Andy, she's like, "Oh, by the way, Gracie's already in there. You can't come in. So you guys just got to wait." You should have told him that on the way there or prior. You know, Gracie is 18. She can meet him, whatever. But your younger kids, one would assume he's not just going to come to a birthday party to see everybody. So that's the only thing Brittany did that I was a little like, what the hell? But I feel like she did that to make Gracie comfortable. And I'm not mad at Brittany because she's putting her kids first. She has said it multiple times in her confessional. And so far her actions are showing that. And I don't think Andy's mad at that. Andy's ex-wife was also a drug addict. That's the reason they broke up. And I'm sure he can understand Brittany's actions and respect them because that's what he wanted for his own kids. So we'll see what happens with them more on the next episode, but he definitely took it in the chin. He didn't get mad. I would have took my kid and went and got something to eat and had them waiting for us to return. Like, go live your life. But I do like that he's given her time to get reacquainted with her children. I think that's wonderful. All right, you guys, we are going to move on to the next couple, which is Sheree and Anthony. So Sheree and Anthony are interesting. Anthony's been in jail. This is the one with the fake marriage certificate because she couldn't get married to him because he was legally married to someone else. But now he's legally divorced and they're still not getting married. But I guess it doesn't matter because he's getting out. That was a tongue twister. Anywho, so we find out he'll be getting out of jail in 24 hours. And we see and meet Sheree's son. And, you know, we find out that her son calls Anthony Pops, which concerns me because he has his actual dad in his life. So her son seems well-spoken. He's very, very sweet. Very, very sweet. But she seems to be like really trying to push the love of this inmate on her son. And I think that's so irresponsible. I really do. You don't need to have him calling that man dad when he has his dad in his life. That's actually participating with him. Like, I hate single moms who do that. If you have a kid and the father of your kid ain't really concerned about you, but is paying their child support on time and going above and beyond to be around their kid and to be in their life, why the fuck are you pushing your kid to call this other dude dad? That's really tired. It's really bit. That's that bitter baby mama behavior. I can't stand it. It's irritating. So Sheree's really trying to get her son and says her son calls him Pops and all of this stuff. And I just don't get that. But she does explain to her son that, you know, his dad loves him and that he's getting a bonus dad and all of that. We do learn some insight. She broke up with her son's father when her son was only 6 months. Her son has expressed on the camera he wants his dad and Anthony to meet, and he wants for them to have a good relationship. But even her son knows that Anthony would be upset that at his welcome home party, his dad will be there. Why the fuck you invite your ex to your current's welcome home party? That's weird. That's weird. I had a situation like that years ago when I was 18. I had an ex come to my house for a barbecue with my current boyfriend, who is now my husband. And it was just a weird situation. So I learned very quickly, like, you can't intermingle all the time, your exes and your current. It's like, why are y'all still dealing with each other if you once used to, be together romantically? It's just weird. So her son seems to be the sense in this. And he says that the son says he doesn't want no arguments between any of them. And what that tells me, and Sheree didn't realize that tells me Sheree is the type of bitch to be arguing with people up around her child. That's what that tells me, because he's concerned. The little boy is genuinely concerned. So that lets me know that Sheree and her baby daddy, or the son has definitely dealt with or seen some arguments. Kids don't just say things like that. I am trained in psychology. So kids don't just say things like that. There's usually truth to what children say. Their behaviors, the things they choose to play with, they get that all from somewhere else. So if Sheree's son is saying this, then he done seen some shit. But hey, he's still a good kid. She's obviously a good mom, because that little boy is everything. Loved her son. Loved him. My thing is Sheree starts trying to act nervous about her baby daddy meeting Anthony. And I'm like, bitch, bye. You ain't nervous when in the first episode you was gloating about it and you was trying to be petty. And you said the only reason you invited him is because your baby daddy doesn't think it's smart to be with someone who's in jail if you want support and someone who's around. Why are you mad at the truth? Weird. So we'll see the dynamic with the baby daddy and them, but we do find out she's an HR manager. I'm hoping and praying she doesn't dress like that to go see like her clients or when at work, because HR managers should not dress like that. I was an HR manager. You just should not. She makes him a resume, which is nice because she wants him to succeed. I'm just kind of like, and I'm trained in resumes. So you got your chronological resumes, you have your professional resumes, you have resumes that highlight skill sets as well as hobbies. There's different forms of resumes. Most people just do a reverse chronological ordered resume, whatever. But I'm wondering, what does he put on his resume? Because like, you can't expect people to call the Department of Corrections to like confirm work experience. So I thought that was nice though. And I think that's important to, if you're going to be with somebody, especially these people choosing to be with inmates, help them to get on the right track. It's not always about giving them a house and buying them all these clothes, giving them money and bears and stuff like we've seen. Like sometimes it's the little things, like teach him how to make a resume. He has it, but I hope she also teaches them how. Give them skills that are valuable. My dad always says, people can't take your knowledge from you. They can never take that from you. They can judge you. They can do whatever. But if you have knowledge, that's something no one can take from you. I think that is true. But we also find out she's concerned for her snoring, which I thought was funny. I guess she snores loud and she thinks it's going to be a turn off. And the last thing we see from Sheree in this episode is she feels that Anthony will be a perfect role model for her kids. She also states that they would be hurt if they broke up. Your kids shouldn't be that invested in your relationship so soon. I don't have children, so I am not the judge or juror when it comes to introducing kids to someone. For the single parents out there, I know that is something that they experience. Just because you're a single parent don't mean you got to stop dating. You still got to live your life. But I just feel like it would be more responsible and smarter to present this person to your kid once you've been with them for at least a year, maybe 6 months at the earliest. But everyone is different. It's her kid. Her kid's obviously smart, fed, clothed, babe. So, hey, that's what it is. I just think that's weird, but I like her son. So we're going to move on to the next couple of the episode, which was Chelsea and Michael. Chelsea, for those who are not avid watchers of the Love After Lockup franchise, was on Love During Lockup. That is where we first saw her. She is deaf, so she cannot hear. However, she is fluent in sign language, and sometimes she does speak, but it is harder, obviously, for deaf people to speak. And sometimes they're embarrassed by it. I've had friends who are deaf, and they don't like to attempt to say the word, even though they can, because they feel embarrassed by it. That's what I've been told. I don't think they should be embarrassed by it, but we can't control how people feel. But I'm also not one to make fun of people for disabilities. If you're laughing at this girl or thinking you're going to come on my channel and watch me talk shit about a deaf girl, that's not going to happen at all. We should respect that. Anywho, Chelsea and Michael were on Love During Lockup. She cannot hear. I've never seen anyone do sign language on the phone while driving. Listen, that's a skill. I'd probably be too busy hollering at people fucking up on the road. Mr. Best can attest to that. I am that crazy, angry lady driving. But, hey, she was doing what she had to do on the phone. So we know that that Chelsea has 3 kids. She has 3 kids. Trevor is her youngest. He's also the child that she has custody of. Her other 2 kids are she has them with the same dad. She said and felt this information was important for us to know. But I do know that he has custody. I encourage everybody to look into According to Amber. I will put the link in the description. She is a content creator who often reports on Love After Lockup, the people who are on the show, what's going on with them off the show, who's going to come on the show. She got the scoop. She just does. But I enjoy her channel. So give her a look-see, because she had information a couple months ago on Chelsea's kids and custody situations and situations with her exes. So we'd find out that Michael learned sign language for Brittany while he was in prison, which she's touched by. We find out he's going to be getting out in 48 hours, so just 2 days. They've only had one visit together while he's in jail, and it was filmed by Love During Lockup. And we find out that he is also going deaf. He wears a hearing aid, but without the hearing aid, he cannot hear at all. So I get the feeling that that's part of the reason and motivation to help him learn sign language. He's going to be with someone like Chelsea, who is already deaf and already experiences, those struggles that come with that, and the differences in life from someone who's deaf versus from someone who's not. So I think that they'll be good for each other in that aspect. We find out that she doesn't want to have sex yet. Like, when her dude gets out, she's not rushing the fuck. She wants to wait a couple months before she does that, because it's been so long since she's had sex. But I kind of respect that too. Just because you have that relationship over the phone, you can grow to care about someone on the phone. I maintain a relationship with my best friend James from Watch Your Mouth Reviews on the phone, honestly, since 2009, because he graduated high school and left California. He abandoned me to go and, chase his dreams, all of that. So most of our relationship, I've seen him like once or twice over like 15 years. Ooh, we try to change that, but he's in Florida. I'm in California. You feel me, y'all? So that's difficult, but I get it. But you can't, the physical is always different. Like, I met my husband online. So we had a relationship speaking online for maybe like a month. It took me like 3 months to meet up with him, because I thought he was a serial killer, to be entirely honest. But I get that. But physically, it always changes. It's always different in person. So she's not going to have sex. Hopefully she's told Mikey this. I hope she's told Mikey this. I don't think she's told Mikey that she doesn't want to have sex for 4 months. And then they're showing videos of him wanting her to talk dirty to him and all of that. She better warn that man. Buy him a pocket vagina or something, the ones you can buy in the sex store. I don't know, but warn him. But he should wait. Like, he should wait. I hope he waits. So we find out that Chelsea is no longer the closest with her dad, which was a little sad, because on Love During Lockup, she was very close with him, but they did kind of get into it, because he's like, why are you with this inmate? That's a concern. And I think it's wrong to beat up your family, your parents, or to get at your loved ones for voicing that concern. Because oftentimes, like, look at Renika and Asante, who we discussed earlier. She kicked her family out of her going away party because they voiced concerns about Asante. Now she's running around with the fucked up wig and her best friend, hiring P.I.s, trying to figure out how to get her bail money back because he's with another bitch. So don't attack your families for giving their opinion. Let them give their opinion, but don't allow them to disrespect your spouse or overstep. That's the boundary, y'all. That's the boundary. And, if you don't want to listen to me, go find a marriage counselor or, a counselor, somebody you trust. I mean, I've only been with the same person 15 years, but listen, I've learned something. There's got to be boundaries. Anywho, so she's upset with her dad. Her dad won't speak to her because she's going to see this convict, which leads me to believe she's willing to speak to her dad, but he's just like trying to hold his foot down. I think once your kids are grown, just let it be. There's not much you can do to change what they do, but don't lose that time with your kids. We also find out that Chelsea's mother recently passed away, and she goes to visit her grave. She says she still texts her mom. They became close late in life. So it sounds like she's definitely going through the grieving process, which can take years. We also find out that Mikey also lost his mother, who we saw on the show the previous season as well. So it's just really sad. Condolences to everybody who's lost somebody. It sounds like a lot of people on the show have either had a death in the family recently or experiencing some form of grief. I understand that pain. I lost my best friend not too long ago, about a year and a half ago. So it doesn't go away. It's unfortunate. But the positive is she says that it has bonded her and Mikey even further. So I hope that we get to see what happens when he gets out. And I'm honestly hoping for the best for them. I hate when people get, lose their parents. It tugged at my little heartstrings a little bit. So I wish the best for them and all these couples, honestly. So we're going to move it along. I know this is only supposed to be a 30-minute Saturday recap, but I want to go over the couples thoroughly. And I was not expecting an hour, 30-minute episode. I don't know why I forgot that they did that. That was my bad. But we are at the last couple, Melissa and Louis. So these are our local Jersey, our dose of Jersey. That's what they give. So Melissa and Louis, she liked him in high school. Now she kind of gives like creepy stalker vibes. They were on Love During Lockup as well. His mom is overbearing. His mom is weird. Like his mom kind of acts like the girlfriend. It's very strange. Like I understand the concern for your son, but this lady is nuts. They talk in the car. She goes to pick up his mom. And on the last season of Love During Lockup, the season before last, apologies, Melissa and Louis were on it. And he was in a minimum security work camp. So he was at work, but went home to jail. She went up to see him because she just could not wait to see him. And that resulted in him getting sent back to prison for 30 days. We also find out when his mom is upset about that, explaining that she's mad, Melissa says, well, you should be mad too, because he didn't just get sent back for that offense. He got caught with a cell phone. His mom somehow gave him a contraband cell phone, snuck that into the jail. And I'm looking at this lady like, listen, Donna, because that's her name. Shut the fuck up, Donna. You're irritating. Go find a man of your own. Why are you cramping your son's style, or however they say it? Like, relax. Like, in all seriously, the lady's crazy. You want to get at this girl because you say her actions sent your son back to jail. She was in a public place. You the fuck weren't. You snuck contraband into a jail. You lucky they didn't take your ass to the jail with him. But you want to get at this girl, Melissa, and you could tell she was raised right, and she's not going to go off on his mom. I would have been checked his mama. Listen, my mother-in-law tried me once, y'all. Once. She never tried me again. You got to make it clear without disrespecting them. Like, I'm not going to take this. So just know, if you do this, I'm going to give it to you right back, or I'm going to tell you about yourself. I'm not going to take this. Melissa doesn't seem like she's going to do that. So basically, in my opinion, it looks like Melissa and the mom enable Louis, but I think the mom is the bigger problem. She's very concerned, but we have to look at the fact that our parents and their choices, how we were raised, that's what leads us to things sometimes like drugs. There's something that happened in Louis' life that caused him pain, and which is why he just crescendoed into heavy drug use. There's obviously something that happened. I don't expect him to talk about it on television, but I do hope that he gets a therapist. And I do think he needs to get away from his mom. The only thing in his life that's been consistent outside of his drug problem and, the trouble he gets into is his mom. So I'm not saying that he needs to not have her in his life, but he definitely needs to place a boundary and maybe live away from her and not be so smothered. Because sometimes you smother people and they'll rebel just because they don't like to feel control. So there's that. They also was acting like Louis had no teeth. He has teeth. They are just not the straightest and not the widest, but he has teeth. So there is that. And I didn't think his teeth made him like horribly unattractive either. I didn't find it to be that way. I did find it interesting, though, when Melissa in the episode called Louis, where before getting out, she called Louis and she's like complaining about his mom. And he says, fuck her. Don't let her do that to you. I'm like, so I'm telling you, y'all, there's something with him and that mom. And I think that he definitely would be maybe better off with Melissa or somebody else. Whew. But basically, her dad too, Melissa's dad, calls to talk to Louis or to talk to Donna, Louis's mom, and he's like, "I heard you're giving my daughter problems. Yeah, give her a break." And Donna's like, "Why'd you snitch on me?" And listen, you overprotective, so she got somebody protecting her too. That's what these parents forget. Same way you love your child, Louis, Donna, there's somebody who loves Melissa too. So I feel like Melissa's dad's not going to let Donna disrespect her at all. I just don't see it happening. But overall, it looks like him getting out of jail went well. I saw him trying to struggle to give his mom affection, and Melissa, like his mom instantly got jealous. Melissa let Louis's mom have the first hello, the first hug, which is the respectful thing to do as the girlfriend or wife. Don't get in the way of your dude's family. Don't. Even if they try to blame you for shit that ain't your fault. Just don't get in the way of your dude's family. But the mom instantly got jealous. She's like making faces and literally in tears that he's kissing his woman. I don't understand. My husband don't care though. He'll hold my hand, smack a butt cheek. He does not care. He'll do all of that in front of his mama. He's done it at church. So my husband's a hot mess though. Something's wrong with him. Anywho, but we are going to see more from all of these couples next week. I have the live set up on the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. If you go click lives from my profile, you will be able to see all of the upcoming lives. If you're ever unsure about what I'll be going live on, what we're discussing, you can look at the title. It does title the show, then the season, the episode number, and the title of the episode if it's available. So that is always there. Feel free to go check out the Love After Lockup playlist, which is where all of the franchise recaps that I will be doing are at. We also got Life After Lockup announced, which is one of my favorite franchises of the season. So that will be coming back in December. So Mrs. Best is going to be busy, y'all. I have quite a few shows that I'll be picking up. I will also be picking up Basketball Wives as well as Basketball Wives Orlando with James from Watch Your Mouth Reviews. You can also catch me reporting on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Atlanta, Potomac, Beverly Hills. Basically all the Bravo shows will be recapped as well. Tomorrow evening, we will have a song review for our independent music artists, which is what this channel started as and for. So we look forward to doing that. If you know anybody who makes music, they don't have to be famous. They just need to have their song in MP3 file that can be emailed to me. Let me know. We will gladly play the song. We also have updates and upgrades coming with equipment, so you guys will be able to see and hear us more clearly. But I appreciate everyone for supporting me, especially the 430 subscribers. I love you all. You're all thugs, and I appreciate you. And we will be back. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, you beautiful humans. Adios.